practically so-called, if you see, I've been into those moments in the past 38 years. Have a goal in life, and if you actually want to achieve that goal, if it is at the back of your mind, these distractions will be there. A hard labor of 7-8 hours is enough to earn money. Beyond that, if it is disturbing your spirituality, it is unwanted business.
Before we jump into this podcast, I want you to subscribe this channel to begin with our soulful journey. As I said, we sit here with people who have lived their life certain way that can help you to bring in some wisdom, ideas and motivation that can transform your life in a beautiful way. I can't wait to be on this journey with you. Thank you so much for subscribing. Today is our first podcast, and we sit here with Arjun Talwar, who talks about family, career, and gives a lot of suggestions to the youth. He's born and brought up in Mumbai, and then he moved to San Diego to become a pilot, and now he's running a successful business. Let's dive deep into this conversation. Please let us know your reviews in the comment section. Thank you so much. I'm pretty sure in your journey as well, you might have had an encounter where you have to choose a career. I think, as far as I remember, you went abroad as well for your
Yes.
studies. So, how was that phase?
See, I have done my Bachelor's of Commerce from the University of Bombay.
Hmm.
So after that, myself and my family, we chose a career path of me becoming a pilot, of a
Okay.
commercial pilot. So before,
Was there any motivation for you to become a pilot, or it was?
no, it was basically a motivation. Yes, obviously, because I had a special love for airplanes, and I used to see myself as a pilot when I was in my teenage years also. So yes, that goal was there in life. Me and my family, we all sat down and we consciously took this decision that I wanted to choose this kind of career. Before I could start on this career path, we actually took, I especially, I took blessings from our, our senior brahmacharis of our temple, and they gave their permission, without which obviously I would never have chosen this kind of a path. They gave their permission, and I went for my training in the United States of America. I went to San Diego,
Yeah,
California. I joined a flying school, and I finished my training in about 1.5 years. Around 18 months, came back to India and gave my exams. After that, I started getting some clarity
Yeah.
on the specific career. I'm not biased or I'm not against any kind of career, but being away from after I finished my training, I realized that maybe this is not so much so helpful to. It's not in alignment with my spiritual life. Not that I'm trying to downgrade or degrade any kind of career. People
Yeah.
have their own passions, but sometimes you realize that you're on the correct career path sooner and sometimes later.
Yeah.
So it's not that that experience was wasted. I gained a lot of experience. I got to see the world around, and I got to meet so many people and different categories of people, which actually made me realize the value of spirituality.
Yeah. Yeah.
For those 1.5 years when I was away from house, also from home, and where it was actually a big struggle for me to even keep my spiritual life smoothly.
Yeah.
So that was a turning point in my life, and that was basically a lesson that was taught to me, where I had to basically choose whether, as you asked, that there was a choice either to go in for a glamorous career,
Which
would
looks glamorous,
which
right?
looks glamorous,
Yeah.
and obviously it is a very high profile career.
Yeah.
But it did not allow me to devote so much time to my spiritual activities, because of which at that point then I actually had to choose whether to continue with that career or to leave it. So I chose to leave that career. As I mentioned, I gained a lot of experience, lot of values from it also. But for myself, particularly, if you ask me, for myself, spirituality holds a lot of importance in my life.
Yeah.
So I had to let go of that career and be of service to our congregation out here. And since then, I'm practically devoted out here to our entire congregation.
I think the next question comes from the last point only. When you went to United States, I'm pretty sure because I stay in Australia as well. So there might be a lot of distractions, a lot of parties, a lot of
Yes.
youngsters
Yes.
which want to just go there and enjoy because that is how it is shown in all the movies and all those things that people just go there, have alcohol because that's the culture. So how did you manage in like staying in that environment and how did you manage all those things?
As I mentioned earlier, also, if you have a goal in life, and if you actually want to achieve that goal, if it is at the back of your mind, these distractions will be there.
Yeah.
It all depends, because God gives you that kind of free will. He never messes with your free will. So He gives you that free will. You should be intelligent enough whether to give into indulgence and to misuse that free will or act upon it in a very responsible manner. I was truly blessed, because on a daily basis I used to keep in touch with my parents
Yeah.
and my other extended family members who used to keep reminding me of my basic foundation of spirituality, and so that actually kept me safe. There were times, and I was actually exposed to different kind of environments out there, which was basically like a culture shock even for me,
Yeah.
because I had never seen all this in India,
And
living in
that too, what
India.
year was it?
This was in the year 2007.
Yeah, and now it's 2023. So
Yeah, so it's a massive difference.
yeah.
But the basic culture remains the same.
Yeah.
So even if so many years have gone by also, but the basic culture of that country remains the same. I'm not as I again said, I'm not against the country. I'm not against the people,
Yeah.
but it's basically the bringing up of the people who have not been genuinely exposed to spiritual life.
Yeah.
So they think that that is the way of life.
Their purpose is something different. Yeah.
They're basically into ignorance.
Yeah.
They feel that is the way of life, whereas there is a better way of life. There is a higher goal, higher taste in life. So yes, I have gone through those kind of stages when I was training out there. Honestly, it was a struggle, everyday struggle for me, because considering that there are some dietary rules and restrictions that you have to follow, being initiated into movement of ISKCON. So even practically on a everyday basis, even for my diet also, I had
Yeah.
it was a struggle for me
Yeah.
to
Definitely.
maintain it in a foreign country
Yeah, I
where
know.
where not eating onion garlic also is basically you're considered like an alien out
Yeah.
there.
True.
But yes, somehow I managed. I had to keep reminding myself every day, this is not the goal of life. Your goal of life is spirituality. This is just the means and the ways to get by it. So whatever hurdles came, I took it in my stride. There were moments of depression also,
Yeah.
but as I said, my parents were. I was lucky enough to keep in touch with my parents every day, who used to remind me of the ultimate goal, and yeah, so I could tide through that. It was a difficult 1.5 years, but yes, I
There's
could go
something
through it.
very beautiful when I talk to you. Every conversation or every answer that you have is somehow or the other connected to family. Like you, I think there's a certain bond that you share with your family that every answer is at the end of it you somehow connected with your family. Sometimes a lot of youth is not connected to their family. They think that they're just some random fool who are just saying things because they don't know what currently is going
I
on.
have gone through this kind of stage of considering that my family and my parents don't hold so much importance when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
I believe every single person in this world goes through that stage where you actually believe that you can live your life on your own terms without your family's guidance, support, and wisdom.
Yeah.
But I'm 38 now. Now I actually realize the importance being away from family
Yeah.
for those couple of years, how difficult it was, the comfort of your home, the shelter of your house, of your parents, the guidance that they give you. I would say to the youth nowadays that whatever age group they are, especially in the teenage years, you may not have clarity at the moment about how your parents hold such an important role in your life. But your parents will always have the best interest for you,
Yeah.
and they'll be the best friends in your life to guide you, because they genuine loving parent will have no other goal in life other than to see you become into a better human being than
Yeah.
they are.
Yeah.
So if you actually genuinely have that kind of respect for your parents, and if you genuinely want to touch heights in your life, touch great heights, I'm not talking monetarily, but in terms of character,
Yeah.
in terms of spirituality, it is a important part of life where you actually listen to them, take guidance from them. Maybe at that particular point of life, in that particular phase of life, you may not have that clarity,
Yeah.
but they are your parents. They see the future ahead,
And they've been through that.
they've been through that, so
Yeah.
they can guide you, they can give that wisdom what they have experienced through their previous years.
Yeah.
So it would be, in the fitness of things, I would say it would be very good and respectful on your part to basically listen to your parents, at least what they have to say, even if the time, place, and circumstance in this time, it must be different as compared to what they must have gone through.
Yeah.
But yes, it really does help. It has it has helped me
Yeah.
personally
Yeah.
to grow into a better human being.
Yeah, that's true. And how do you think money is important? Because money is important in terms of happiness. Because you've been in a stage where you might have, if you chose that part, like if you become a pilot, I'm pretty sure it's a very high paid job. But you rejected that and you stayed here with your family so that you can be happy. So I'm pretty sure that you might have thought about all this thing, that happiness or money, is it directly proportional, or what are your thoughts on it?
No, it's not directly proportional, because if I was interested in money, I would have never chosen any other kind of
Yeah,
career path.
true.
Happiness was more important for me. The peace in life was more important for me. Not that people who don't become pilots are all peaceful. It's not like that. It's not that people who have chosen to be pilots, they are not peaceful. They may have peace, they have their own way of coping with life. But I had a higher goal in life, where I had to be of service, not only to my immediate family but even to our congregation.
Yeah.
I purposefully chose that path to avoid a career that will keep me away from home for more than at least 20-25 days in a month, because it's a very exhausting career to be a pilot.
Yeah.
You need to be very responsible. Not that I was not responsible, but yes, I deliberately chose to avoid that path which would keep me away from home and from spirituality.
Yeah.
So I basically chose to stay back out here and increase my spirituality. Yes, it's a difficult decision. Earning money is definitely a big part in every person's life, whether they are not following any kind of spiritual path, or whether you're following a spiritual path. Even the difference is that people who are unaware and ignorant, who don't have a clear spiritual path in life, they would basically use that money to enjoy,
Yeah.
to spend it on themselves, to spend it on their family, etc., etc. So, but if you have spirituality in your life, it gives you a path where you can decide how to use the money that you earned very wisely, and put it to good use in the service of others, in the service of whatever kind of path you're following. Put that money into the service of the Lord, in the to make the Lord happy. There's a difference. So it's not necessary that if you're joining ISKCON or any other spiritual institution, you have to be poor. You don't have to earn money. You have to put in that effort totally, and earn to your best capacity, but use that money very wisely.
Yeah, definitely.
And with that kind of effort, where that money does not bring unhappiness into the house,
Mm.
where it starts disturbing your spiritual path,
Yeah.
then I would, again, as I mentioned earlier, then I would strongly suggest people to rethink about their career paths,
Yeah, definitely.
where it is creating a hindrance in between,
Mm.
and not allowing you to follow your spiritual path.
Yeah. I was reading a very beautiful quote yesterday by Jim Carrey, and he was saying that I wish everyone should become that popular and successful and earn a lot of money, and then when they reach that point, then they'll realize that this is not the answer. So that was a very beautiful quote, that if someone who's reached that stage, and then if he's saying that, definitely there's something that is missing.
Yes.
And I think the missing part is spirituality. When you connect that thing with the money,
Yes,
I think that's the missing link.
absolutely.
Yeah. But I've seen in my life, sometimes you have motivation, that you'll get up in the morning, you'll finish your rounds, and sometimes the motivation is gone. But I think consistency is the key. Like, you need to be consistent every day. So,
Sustainability is very important.
yeah. So how do you manage to stay consistent every day?
See, it works. It works differently for different people. It works differently for everyone.
Hmm.
There can be different sources of inspiration for everyone. If you personally ask me, my basic anchor in life is I make it a point to hear my Guru Maharaj's lectures on a daily basis,
Oh, that's so nice. Yeah.
every single day. That is how it keeps me going. It helps me to sustain my spiritual life.
And it connects you
And that is
to
the
it as well.
basic
Yeah.
source of inspiration for me,
Hmm.
because I believe if you have promised and you've dedicated your life to your spiritual master, and but if you don't follow instructions, uh, half of the battle is lost.
Yeah.
So it's basically it's worth its weight in gold,
Yeah.
whatever your spiritual master guides you about
Mhm.
your spiritual path. So if you dive into that swimming pool and take benefit of the clarity that your spiritual master can give you, I
Mhm.
believe half of your struggle
There you go.
ends over there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I was listening to one of the lecture yesterday, and it says that it's good to have a guru, but the best thing is to actually live on what guru is saying, because that is the main foundation of that thing.
Some devotees in ISKCON, they have physical benefits to be close to the guru.
Hmm.
You call it fortunately or differently, we are not so physically in the presence of our guru, but as you mentioned, it's very important to hear the vani. it's
Hmm.
it's very important to hear the instructions, because that will be the guiding force in your life.
Yeah.
It'll help you to stick to the path of spirituality, because living in this day and age, as we discussed earlier also, there are so many tremendous amount of distractions,
Yeah.
huge distractions, that can easily help you to waver from your path.
Hmm.
As I said, different people can have different inspirations in their own spiritual life.
Hmm.
But personally for me, uh, hearing your spiritual master's instructions on a daily basis will help you to keep the sanity and sustainability in your spiritual life.
Yeah. I think we are on the last part of our conversation. So one thing which I really wanted to ask is, what do you suggest our youth? Because I see a lot of youth who are in depression, anxiety, and the number is increasing day by day. And I was reading one of the research, and it says that the number will drastically increase in next 10 years. So what is your suggestion with regards to spirituality? That what should they do?
See, from my own experience in life, because I have passed my youth now at least a decade back, through my experiences, I would say for the youth, now is the time to basically write a different life script.
Hmm.
You have that free will to choose from, use it wisely.
Hmm.
Right now, as a country, India is progressing at double the amount of speed at
Hmm.
what it was a decade back, or before that
Hmm.
also,
True.
because of the information and the technology also
Hmm.
available. But this is not the way of life, because considering what the acharyas have mentioned in the scriptures, and if you, in this day and age, right now at this point, if you see, India is going through a phase where the foreign countries have already been and done with this kind of culture at least 20 years back.
True.
What the youth of India are following at the moment, and they feel that it gives them instant gratification and happiness, but ultimately it will end up in frustration if
Yeah.
you don't follow any kind of spiritual path. It's not necessary that you have to follow ISKCON. There can be different spiritual paths in your life, but if you sincerely follow that, as we discussed, it can be a anchor in your life. It can be a guiding force in your life to create a better human being out of yourself, create a better character for yourself,
Yeah.
and live a very clean life without any kind of sin. Without any kind of that sin can it can be you can live a clean life without any kind of sin in your material life and in your spiritual life. If you follow spirituality, it can also be a guiding force in your material life also,
Yeah.
in your day to day daily routines of your businesses also. So I would say right now is the peak time to the youth. I would suggest right now is the time where you can choose a better life for yourself, because obviously this is such a crucial phase in life where even in the path of choosing careers, when you're a youth, when you're choosing your careers, you want the best career for yourself,
Yeah.
something that gives you happiness and monetarily also will help you in the long run. So why not choose spirituality also
The best
in
of all.
such a manner for the best of all, so that you can have a balance of both
Yeah.
and enjoy it to your best capacity, and dedicate your life to some kind of cause.
Yeah. Giving it back to the society.
Yes, giving back to society where it can give you immense happiness inside and satisfaction.
Yeah.
No amount of monetary gains in life will give you that immense satisfaction where you return and give to the society.
Yeah. Yeah. I've experienced that. Yeah.
Yes.
So there's one more question which is just randomly coming on the top of my head, is that what I've experienced is, if you do your spiritual practices, whatever you are doing, whatever path you're following, it gives you a specific confidence and the boost of energy which helps you materially as well. It does not just get confined till the spirituality. It gives you material happiness and material success as well, because you get that confidence and boost of energy. So have you experienced that thing as well? Because
I see, as we discussed earlier, it is different for everyone. So, but yes, this is definitely true. If you have a purpose in life, if you have a higher purpose in life, because spiritual life will always be as compared to a goal in material life, a spiritual goal will be always be higher, because it is a word of God. It is the word of the Lord. So definitely you get that kind of spiritual energy and power from that source, which will definitely help you to balance your material life also
Yeah,
in a
yeah.
very beautiful manner.
Yeah. So everyone who's listening, I don't think so they know that you are a beautiful singer. You sing very beautifully. And how do you connect yourself with God through music? Because a lot of people out there, they love music. But obviously, some Bollywood music, some Hollywood music. But you, on the other hand, you're so connected with spiritual music. How do you connect with that thing, and how do you resonate with that thing?
On the path of spirituality, if I can specifically mention, in being a part of ISKCON, all congregation members, every single devotee connected to ISKCON have their own way of being of service to that congregation. As we discussed earlier, it's like giving back. It's basically
Yeah.
giving back and connecting with your spiritual life. So for me, practically, I believe singing for the Lord is basically the best service I can do to my best capacity, to for the pleasure of the Lord and for the pleasure of our fellow congregation members.
Yeah.
That I can through singing I can serve to my best capacity and give maximum pleasure. That is what I feel. It can be different for other devotees. Some people can be great cooks, some can be great pujaris, some can be great book distributors, where they feel that they can serve in that kind of capacity. I feel in my own insignificant way I can serve the movement in this manner.
there's a beautiful thing that I got that energy from you, that everything how you connect with your family. So that is one thing which, it was so much positive. It gives you so much positivity, and like as I'm sitting with you, I can feel that you how much connected you are with your family, because you've left everything, your career, your money, everything you've left for your family. So I think that is one thing which is, a takeaway for everyone who's listening, that
Family
families.
holds a lot of importance
Yeah.
in one's life,
Mm.
be it materially or be it spiritually
Spiritually, yeah,
also.
yeah.
I've been lucky enough to have that kind of balance for both,
Hmm.
materially as well as spiritually.
Yeah.
If you have the backing of your family, I'm sure you can tide over any kind of
Yeah.
problem, be it emotionally and spiritually, mentally,
Hmm.
physically. If
True.
you have the backing of your family, you should feel blessed.
Hmm.
Money does not hold so much importance as the support of your
Family,
family.
yeah. As you said, you've born and brought up in spirituality. So I'm pretty sure that you might have had your own journey, like even after like you born in spirituality, but at some point of life you might have figured something out for yourself, that okay, this is exactly what I want to do.
I believe for myself, if I speak for myself, till the age of 12 or 13, I was totally into spirituality. But
Hmm.
when you go through those teenage years, obviously
Yeah,
everyone goes through those teenage years, so
definitely.
it's a very confusing time
Hmm.
for everyone. So you tend to get influenced by other friends,
Hmm.
circles, and
Yeah,
other people in your life. You
yeah.
tend to easily get influenced by them. For myself, if I can speak, I had the backing of my parents
Hmm.
who were deep into spirituality, and the most important thing is that my parents, especially my mother, she kept a big balance between enjoying materially and enjoying spiritually.
Hmm.
So I believe if you maintain a balance in your life for both the matters, you don't have much of a choice to waver then. But as I mentioned, a balance should be in such a way that you try and enjoy materially also in the realm of Krishna
Krishna.
consciousness,
Yeah, that's true.
in the realm of spirituality,
Yeah,
whatever path of spirituality you
yeah,
follow. But
yeah,
if you are safe and sound within that boundary,
yeah.
I believe there's not much chance for people to waver
Hmm.
outside that. So, but for me, it's been basically a way of life.
Yeah.
Because time and again, my parents have reminded me about the ground rules, about the
Hmm.
basic foundation of life,
Yeah.
of following spirituality, the
Hmm.
benefits.
Hmm.
So yeah, so that's basically a way of life for me.
Yeah. So this channel we've built specially for the youth. So as we mentioned, that at some point of time, at some point in our life, especially when we are in our youth, as you mentioned, that in that teenager period, we are very confused. So you had your mother who was, always watching, and somehow they were also acted as an anchor, as you said. But what do you suggest to other youngsters who are there already struggling through their phases in their life? And what do you suggest them, that if they want to start spirituality, how should they start, or if they should or not? Like, what are your suggestions on that?
It's a everyday struggle basically.
Hmm.
Spirituality is a everyday struggle
Yeah.
because the effects of material life on someone's life, especially in this day and age of Kali,
Yeah.
it's too much. It's beyond anyone's capacity. But
Yeah.
it's a everyday struggle. But I believe if you take baby steps and you stick to whatever you're following, if you stick to the rules and regulations, and if you follow that path very
Hmm.
sincerely without clouding your mind with too much of information of the outside world, so yes, so I believe it's achievable. And for people going through their teenage years, it is a very confusing time. I
Yeah.
myself have gone through
Yeah.
that.
Same.
So yeah, so it takes couple of years, but at the back of your mind, if you have that dedication,
Hmm.
and if you have that so-called, because a person going through their teenage years, those are the crucial years when you start deciding about your careers also.
Yeah.
So if you have a long time goal in life, for example, if you want to become a chartered accountant, you want to
Hmm.
become a you want to become a chef, or you want to become a doctor. You have the long term goal, and you know that there is going to be struggles in between,
Yeah.
but you have to overcome that to reach your final goal. So it's the same with spirituality also. If you look at yourself from a couple of years from that time, and consider yourself in that position, that I have to reach that spiritual goal where I can be a dedicated devotee to a specific movement,
Yeah.
whichever movement it can be. So if you have that goal in the back of your mind, all the small struggles through the teenage years and through young adulting, and also I'm sure with that goal in mind, the hurdles you can pass easily.
Yeah.
There are struggles. There are struggles in material life. There are
Material life.
struggles in spiritual life also.
Yeah.
But if you sincerely follow one path, instead of getting confused and hearing and bombarded with information, even in the spiritual movement also,
Yeah.
if you
Definitely.
start following various people and different speakers, so it can be a very confusing time. If you
Yeah.
follow one single path in which you have your heart and mind dedicated to
Yeah.
that, so I believe
That can really help.
yes, it can happen.
Since we know what ISKCON is and we know who Radhanath Maharaj is, I think the audience probably don't know what it is. So, to give an idea what ISKCON is, and from your perspective, what ISKCON is, and who Radhanath Maharaj is to you, that will be much better.
Radhanath Maharaj is my spiritual guru. He's my spiritual master. He's my spiritual father. He has it's basically a way, living a way of life by his instructions. His through his lectures, whatever guidance, whatever instructions he gives, it's basically a way of life, and he is one of the initiating gurus. He is one of the most senior, most disciples of Srila Prabhupada, who was the founder Acharya of ISKCON. Uh, he left the US when he was a teenage. At, at his teenage years, when he was 19, he left California in search of God. I mean, if the audience wants to know more, his book is there online, The Journey Home.
Yeah.
So
I read
everyone
that.
can,
Yeah.
yes, so
Yeah.
everyone can read about him. So he's one of the most influential gurus. Obviously, there are other gurus also in ISKCON, but he's one of the most influential gurus, and very loving, very compassionate, very kind. People who come across him, they have seen how he deals with people. One thing that I have always appreciated and always admired in my guru is he always puts people before projects.
Yeah.
He never puts projects before people. That is the most important thing. He has basically invested his life in people, not in projects.
That's so beautiful. Yeah.
Yes.
So we'll have our small rapid fire round towards the end.
Sure.
So what I'll do is I'll just say one word, and whatever comes to your mind, you just say that.
Sure.
So I'll start with that.
Yeah.
Your favorite book?
My favorite book is Ramayana.
Ramayana. Beautiful.
I love to read Ramayana.
Happiness?
Happiness is spirituality.
Krishna?
Krishna, the supreme personality of Godhead, the guiding light in everyone's life.
Music?
Bhajans, Kirtan.
And family?
Family, yes. Again, I would harp on the fact that they are basically the anchor of my life.
Yeah.
The guiding force,
Yeah.
without which it's very difficult to achieve uh, any kind of path or any kind of goal that you have in life without the family support.
Yeah.